Welcome to MojoPlays. Today, we're looking at the 10 hardest missions in Cyberpunk 2077.
Somebody help me!
If you haven't played Cyberpunk, there are spoilers ahead. Once you beat these missions though, you'll be a legend of the Afterlife. Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The Pickup.
That shit can go smoothly. This is Maelstrom.
Gang world ain't too complicated. Might's right, the strong survive.
This was the first quest that we ever got a look at, and it remains the most complex quest in the game. Depending on what you choose to do, and there are a lot of choices here, the mission can be made significantly easier or harder. For instance, you can grind early side missions and make the 10,000 eddies to simply pay Maelstrom their new inflated price for the flathead, and then you can just walk out of there. Or you can steal it and have to fight your way out. Or you can agree to deal with Militech, provided you don't make them too angry, and they'll give you a virus-laden chip with the money on it, leaving you to potentially have to fight Maelstrom and Militech if you draw them in and decide to attack them.
Let's get out of here. Sorry, I'm losing fresh air.
Beat on the Brat.
I prefer to get drunk after a win.
Wait, hold up. You're V?
Those first missions in this thread are a breeze, but eventually, you may hit a wall. You could have easily decided that body wasn't a vital skill for your character and chose to barely invest in it, which means that you'll find Beat on the Brat a lot harder than the people who chose to be a souped-up solo. In fact, if you've let your body skill languish on just 5 points or less, you might find it totally impossible to beat these missions because you'll have such low health and you won't be able to use firearms or quick hacks. Though you'll certainly improve your chances if you invest in the Gorilla Arms cyberware, even if that does mean your techie will have to ditch their mono wire.
Call it now! This fight's over!
The Heist.
You're there to meet Hajime Taki, military tech department rep. Papers are for the Flathead.
Welcome to Kentucky.
I need more time.
The whole of Act 1 is spent with you and Jackie planning this complex heist together, a high-risk job given to you by Dexter Deshawn. This is also one of the longest single missions in the game, and it'll be hard on you emotionally too, thanks to a certain character's untimely death.
Biochip. Hold on to it. For me.
But it can also be tricky to get through because during your escape, you're going to have to fight so many Arasaka guards. Depending on how you ended the pickup, this might be your first massive major firefight in the game, and you'll need to get the hang of quick hacking and stealth. The combat can go on for what feels like hours, and at the end, you're just going to have to escape in Delamain rather than take everybody out.
Hostile aircraft eliminated.
Phew.
Automatic Love.
Hey! Haven't I seen you here before?
This is one of the earliest missions in Act 2, and it follows V trying to find Evelyn Parker, who earlier provides you with vital information about the heist. Evelyn has disappeared, and you need to infiltrate her workplace, Clouds, to find out what may have happened.
You gotta help me. Please. I'm no threat, but she could be in trouble. Just want to talk to her, find out if she's okay.
The stealth can be tricky in this one, as you're going to have to sneak past a lot of guards to avoid an annoying, huge firefight. But it's also got one of the game's more difficult bosses right at the end, in the form of Woodman, if you don't pass the speech checks. Of course, even if you do pass the checks, you can choose to fight him anyway, either because he's a scumbag or because you want the rifle he drops.
Don't come back here. Ever. While you're at it, take the elevator. Quicker you're out of here, the better.
Psycho Killer. The bane of every Cyberpunk player's life is the constant texts that you're in the vicinity of another cyberpsycho. But should you actually take the time to complete this long quest, it might be more difficult than it's worth. It does add an interesting narrative layer to the game if you read all the logs, but damn if it isn't tedious. Some of the cyber psychos are extremely difficult bosses in their own rights, and often not because of fair reasons. One noteworthy boss is against Norio Akuhara, who's become a vigilante dedicated to fighting tiger claws. This means he'll constantly be drawing tiger claws into the fights by attacking them, making your life even harder. And don't forget to do it non-lethally if you want the max reward.
Go, go, go!
Target neutralized.
Disasterpiece.
Got a message for Fingers. Comes from the Tiger Claws.
And that message would be...
2 things. Urgent and confidential.
The next mission after Automatic Love, Disasterpiece, is also difficult, this time because it's going to make you fight through a massive dungeon to get to Evelyn. You have to first interrogate the extremely sketchy Ripper Doc, Fingers, and putting up with him is hard enough on its own. But then you eventually track Evelyn down and find that she's being used to make illegal XBDs in horrific circumstances.
That's Evelyn. Just don't touch her. If she's recording, you'll scramble her brain. Wait until I cut her link.
You do have Judy's help to fight all of the scavs, but honestly, she's not too useful in a firefight, so you're going to be doing most of the heavy lifting yourself. With a parking lot, warehouse, and multiple underground floors to go through, it'll take a while.
Grab it and tell me when you're gonna yank it. I'll break the link at my end at the same time.
I walk the line.
URV, we have been waiting.
What gave me away? It's the hair, isn't it?
For this one, you'll need to sneak into the Grand Imperial Mall to do a job for Placide, otherwise he won't help you get in to talk to Brigitte. You've got to make your way all the way through the GIM, and Placide is desperate for you to avoid fighting the animals. Unfortunately, this level is significantly harder if you do opt for the stealth route, simply because it's not very well designed.
That bad, huh?
It's much more fun to go in guns blazing and shoot them all, and makes the mission far easier as well, even with Sasquatch waiting for you at the end. But Placide will constantly complain if you're making too much noise, and doing the quest the right way is painstaking.
Now to watch it.
Search and destroy.
My word means shit to you?
Hanako-sama, I apologize on his behalf.
Oh, shut up, Goro.
After successfully kidnapping Hanako Arasaka, it isn't long before Arasaka security catches up with you and Takemura-san. This comes after another difficult quest at the parade, where you have to fight Hanako's powerful bodyguard, Oda. That's difficult enough because he keeps jumping around and healing, but the following mission has an explosive opening. Literally.
Damn it!
Arasaka breaks into the motel you're in, and Johnny wants you to escape as soon as possible. But if you listen to him too closely, you won't be able to take the harder route and go back to rescue Takemura. If you don't take the hard path, Takemura will be killed by Arasaka. A sad fate.
We must go different ways. Alone we have a better chance.
Really? Think so?
Then go. Now.
Forward to death.
We can't allow the guards to call for backup.
And if we're too slow?
That'll be a job for Bob and his jammer. We'll just have to get close to their comms antenna and start transmitting.
If you complete Pan Am's long quest line for the Aldecaldos, you'll be able to team up with them to complete the final mission, leading them into the tunnels and, eventually, to Arasaka Tower and Mikoshi.
Don't like this. Not one bit.
This mission group has a lot of high difficulty quests, but this one has you and Pan Am taking the Basilisk to fight Militech so that you can secure the tunnel entrance. It's a lot of high-powered enemies and mechs, made more difficult by the fact the Basilisk will often break down. You also can't shake the feeling that Johnny was right about bringing the Aldecaldos on your suicide mission, which makes it even harder to leave them behind and enter the tunnel.
Pan Am.
I'm going to miss that constant bickering. The unending fights.
Send in the clowns.
This is the place. Wait for me here and keep the engine running.
We came all this way to get takeout.
You could say that.
This mission is so broken that it becomes almost impossible to complete, crashing consoles and tanking the FPS. No, of course, we're just joking. It's easy, when it works.
Like I said before, the best don't come cheap.
Don't fear the Reaper.
Plan? Well, might be how Rogue operates. I say you grab the hottest iron you can find, stride in the tower's front door, and cut your own path down to the lower level.
This isn't the only mission in which you have to fight Adam Smasher. You'll also get obliterated by him in Johnny's flashbacks, and we'll have to fight him in numerous other endings too. But don't fear, the Reaper is the variant of the final mission that sees V and Johnny decide to go it alone, not wanting to put anybody else's lives at risk in their quest to defeat Smasher, destroy Mikoshi, and separate their tangled psyches.
I was unable to eliminate all the changes made through the Johnny data incursion and override, but V's engram integrity remains high.
Meaning you can transfer his psyche back into his brain?
You'll be taking on Smasher, the game's hardest boss, with nobody to help you. It's also hard to even unlock this ending as it's a secret. You've got to do all of Johnny's quests and make the right dialogue choices just to have the option.
We stick to the plan. Johnny, I'm sorry.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.